What's up, guys? I'm here to for another installment of ATK 302. You don't have to come to class. You can just watch me on your computer screen. Hooray! So this video is going to be about putting images, PNG files, GIF files, or JPEG files in your JavaScript in your P5.js file. So let's grab an image. Okay, so I kind of looked. I went up. I was gonna have an image of my favorite band, but then I decided not to. So what I did was I looked for bunny images. I found this. This is like a throwback. So I grabbed this image, save image as, and you guys all know how to do this. This one says C7B right here, but I'm gonna call it bunny just so I can remember. So save. I've already got a bunny there, but we'll use this bunny image now. And I just saved it to my desktop. Okay, so grab yourself an image, pause this, and once you have an image, get into Atom, and let's duplicate empty example, and we'll call it, this time, this is week 4, so what the heck, Week4Images. How about that? So go to Week4Images down here. Make sure you're not modifying your empty example. Let's go to Sketch. Let's do our usual thing. Maybe you guys have already figured out that you should just have a create canvas command in your empty example. You know, that would be pretty smart. But anyway, so create canvas. I made mine 800 by 800, and then so what I need to do is I need to figure out how to get that bunny image in here. So in my Week4Images here, I'm gonna need to put the bunny image in this folder. Okay, I can just drag it completely into this folder here, or what might be better is to create an assets folder. And the assets folder could be called anything. It could be called images. It could be called whatever you want. The P5.js examples all kind of have an assets folder. So if you right-click here, you can make a new folder. So right-click on Week4Images, new folder, and I'm going to call it assets. Okay, so you guys can see P5 Week4Images assets. So that's the path, and I got to get that bunny image into there. So I could probably, I'm not sure what I can do. I'm going to just drag it. I'm going to find it in my Finder and then drag it over there. Remember, I saved it on my desktop, so there it is, bunny, and I can just drag it over there. Another way I could do it is I could find this Week4Images folder in my computer somewhere. It's probably under websites for me and under ATK 302, and then look, here's Week4Images. So I could have also created that assets folder and just downloaded the bunny image right into it. Anyway, I'm good now. I've got the bunny image in there. And so the next thing I got to do is I've got to write code that will display it on the screen, that will load it and display it on the screen. So the easiest way to do this is in the setup. There's a couple of different commands that you need to do to load an image. First you gotta get the image, then you've got to load it, and then you've got to display it. Images all have got to have a variable, so I'm going to write var, and you guys will see img sometimes. People will call it that. I think that's confusing, so for your first image, I'm going to call it bunny pic. It could be anything. It could really, this is just like the nickname of the file that you're going to use from now on. Now we've got to load the file into the nickname. So to load an image, the command is load image. So bunny pic equals load image with capital I, and then we've got to put the path to the bunny image, to the actual file name. So that path, since this here, the sketch.js is right here, you guys can see, and then there's an assets folder, and inside the assets folder is the bunny image. The path to that is just assets and then bunny.jpg. And notice I've got quotes. You can use single quotes or double quotes here. Okay? If this folder was called something else, then I'd have to have different folder name. If I had a / here, that would mean go all the way to the top, to P5, or actually to ATK 302, to the top level. So I don't want that there. Okay? And if I had a .. that would mean go up one level of the folder to that. And you don't really need to know that stuff. Hopefully you learned that in 301. So this loads the file, and this is like kind of a command that takes a little bit longer. So we only have these load image commands inside the setup, or even in a function called preload, which happens before the setup. So right now I've got this. I'm gonna hit add and beautify to beautify my my code. That means to just format it. So now I've got the bunny file loaded into this nickname. So anytime I want to display that bunny picture now, I use the word image, and that will display an image just like text will display text. So that's kind of cool, right? The image command takes 3 parameters. The first one is the nickname of the image. So not the file name. We never use that ever again. We just use the nickname. Okay, and then it's X and Y location. So I'm going to do 0, 0 there, because in the default image mode, the image will draw from its top. I'm backwards here. It'll draw from its top left-hand corner. So its top left-hand corner now will be in the 0 at 0, 0. So to check this, we cannot do index and open in browser. It won't work. Look at this. Not working. Look at it not working. So what we have to do in order to check this now is we actually have to use Atom Live Server. So the way to do that is you go under Packages, and if you don't have Atom Live Server downloaded already, you go to Settings View and Install Packages. Okay? But if you have it, you'll see Atom Live Server. So, I have it running already. So I'm gonna stop it, and then I'm gonna start it again. You do this, you hit Start Server, and then you're gonna see something crazy in your browser like this. Okay, so this is cool. So this is running a server, a local server now, and I can see my P5 folder. So I'm lucky. I can click on that, and then I can see all this other stuff and see it's added this path here. So once I get to P5, well, I called this Week4Images, so I can either type that in, Week4Images, or actually I'm going to just click on that. So I'm lucky. So this is my index.html, but I didn't have to write that, because you guys know that's the default. You don't have to write that. Okay, so this is my program, and here's the bunny, and it's working. Hooray! Okay, if it's not working, you can always look and see. If it's not working, you haven't loaded, the bunny picture is not inside your assets, or you put a space. Don't put a space in the name of the file. So that's the simplest way to get an image on here. Now, if I move this over, let's say I move this over 20 pixels on the X location, and I'll move it down maybe 100 pixels on the Y, okay, and I'll save it, and let's see what happens if I go to my Atom Live Server. Look, it moved down. It moved over 20 on the X, and it moved down 100 on the Y, so that's kind of cool, right? So let's see what other P5JS image commands there are. So if I go to reference on P5JS, look, there's a whole thing of image commands. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to kind of go over that. Load image, you guys know already. I'm going to click on it anyway, though. You guys can see some people use a function preload, and they do the load image in there. Look, see, they've got an assets folder there too. So some people use that, and some people will do load image just in the setup. Now you guys can also see this image command is in the setup here, and there's no draw. So I wish they hadn't done that. Let's go back and let's see what else. I'll explain why. So when I go back, I got to click on this again. So what other image commands are there here? There's image. So this image command we've already learned. Okay. There's also this tint command that will tint all the images, kind of like colors the images here. So you guys can see in this example here, they loaded this ladefense.jpg image here, and they loaded it at 0, 0, and then they used a tint command, which will tint it, and this takes a color, so they're saying tint blue, right? And then they have another image, the same image again, IMG, that was his nickname, and they moved it over 50 to the right. So So that tint tinted it blue. So that's kind of cool, right? Let's say I wanted to move this over. Can I edit this? See if I wanted to move it over like a little bit more. 80, there, run. Now it's moved over even more, okay? Let's say I wanted to tint it red, 250. Can I edit it again? 255. So you guys know you can edit right inside here. 255, comma 0, comma 0. This will tint it red, right? And then let's move it just to, so it's 20. That second image will be 20 over. Yeah, kind of cool, right? Let's move it down a little bit. 20, comma 20. Now you'll see it's down a little bit here. So that's kind of cool, right? If you use a fourth parameter, that will be transparency, and the transparency goes to 255 also, it looks like. So that's kind of cool. You want to make an image kind of transparent, use either a fourth parameter here, you can see RGB and then transparency, or if you use a second parameter with just two parameters, this will also be, this is a grayscale and this is white, and then this is transparency here, so it's half visible. And so doing this, if you want to not change the color but make an image transparent, you do it this way. Tint 255, so it's just white, and then image make it half transparent. All right, and let's see what else do I have on my notes here. I'm looking at the notes that I've provided for you guys too. The types of images that you can load can be GIF, JPEG, and PNG files. What else? Yeah, I think that's everything. Let me look one more time here in the reference for the images just to see if there was anything else I wanted you guys to know under image. And yeah, you can also save what's happening on the canvas too. I think this is good for now. Again, the image command, you guys can see in our file here, the image command is in the draw loop because I may want to animate it. I may want different things to happen on top of it and everything like that. If I had it in the setup and then I had other stuff back here, it would have only drawn once. So this way it keeps refreshing. All right, that's good for now. Where am I? Here. See you later.